Hello, this is another uh, video of discussing the documents and system in construction. Hopefully you can see me. So I already recorded one, but for some reason the camera just deleted it, or I don't know, I've just lost about half an hour of video of already reviewing these documents, so I'm just gonna make a quicker one. Okay, so today we're gonna review the risk assessment and the method statement. It's a kind of a very important document. It's our company where I work document. So I'm just gonna sort all the documents for now, and we're just gonna go through quick overview of like every page. We have like 8 pages. So let's start, yeah? Okay, so this is how it looks. As you can see, this is the name of our company. Alright, so we have here some supervisors, some managers on site who are responsible for different kinds of work. Alright, what we have also? We have here the description of works. So what we do, for example, the installation of internal plasterboard partitions, the installation of internal plaster ceilings, partition walls. So basically tape and jointing of plasterboard partitions and ceilings. So this method statement basically covers the work we are doing, our company is doing. So it's all of the dry lining works basically, you know. It also shows that it's a first page, and it also shows us what type of works the permit is required. For example, yes, we do some hot works, for example, with some grinders, you know. Sometimes we can cut something, so yes, we definitely need hot works for the but mainly, for example, our people using the circular saws, you know, to cut some plywood, to install some metal, you know. Confined space, no, because we don't have the confined spaces there, and even if we do, we're not using them. Excavation, no. Electrical, no, we're not doing these works. General permit, we do need to hold. Working at height, sure, yeah. Alright, so we also have here the people responsible on site and their duties. We have a few supervisors at this moment in our company, some documents controller, quality managers. We have the main guy here, the James, he's a project manager, as you can see the contact also. So we just go to the next page of the method statement. You know, this document is also covers well, some hazards, some potential hazards, risks, and like all this kind of stuff that is required by law to cover and like to work safely, you know, even to prevent some, you know, something bad happening. Alright, so we'll skip. No, we're not gonna skip. We're gonna go to level to second page. So the second page, we have here continuing the name of the people and their duties. It's as we are the subcontractors, these are the contractors, I believe. Oh no, sorry, this is. Ah no, sorry, it's ours. So we are the subcontractors, and just a few guys from here are contractors. The main work for the main company. Alright, so let me try to zoom in. Yeah, camera recording good. So here we have the name of people and what they what they hold. For example, one of our bosses do have some triple STS and some STS qualification. Actually, I do hold myself as well as first aid, but it just states, you know, the additional info in the meta statement. Alright, so what we have here? Here we have description of the tools of the plant, of some equipment um, that we must use, and this point shows us how to use it all safely. For example, drills, portable drills, 110 volts. You on site everywhere you must use 110 volts. Like, you're not allowed to, by law, to use the more. Um, Second one, high impact resistant goggles to be worn when using grinders and impact guns. Yeah, this is a must. For example, you're using not the grinders or just the circular saw. Also, you must use the resistant, high impact resistant goggles. Well, if you look at all my videos, you can see that I'm most of the time walking, or walking is okay, but when I am working, I do wear always high resistant goggles because it's more safely, than just the simple safety goggles, because they're basically not provide as much as safety as high resistant goggles, impact resistant goggles. It says we must use dust masks when grinding or creating dust. On my videos, you also can see me wearing all the time the even the double mask, the cloth, and the full respirator, because the works we're doing is inevitably will make a lot of dust. So people most of the time do not wear the mask. We do require to wear the mask, but it's most of the time it's personal, up to the person if he wears or no. I prefer to wear because I didn't sign to breathe a lot of dust, and my filters are just filtering all the dust. What also? The task lighting must be provided. Tethers, lanyards for tools when working at height. I'm just gonna read a few points, maybe all. All access equipment must have SCAF tag, which is inspected and signed off quickly. Yeah, by law. You see me doing the health and safety walk around when I was checking the towers and all the other platforms. Like all towers must be, for example, when they erected, and then they must be checked every. Then they must be checked every 7 days. Checked and signed. Alright, cartridge tools need to be locked within the secure lock on box side. We do hold them in our toolbox. Okay, that was the first page. Let's continue on. This was first page of this point, so now we continue to another page. So, our jacks with compressor to move bathroom pots, vacuum cleaners and brushes, brooms for clearing up. Now I'm gonna just zoom in like this. Yeah, you'll be able to see. Yeah. So tethers and for tools and chin straps for hats are to be worn when working at height or working from scaffolds. All emergency release valves to be tested and certificates available required. Daily checks to be recorded and provided. Muffet truck will be used for unloading. So basically it covers all of the usage of the usage of the plant, some tools of our equipment, to just use it safely. Okay, another point with electricity. Yes, we do have some permanent electricity on site, so it just says that site light existing live services, so just live services on our site. Yeah, it says all services should be considered live. Site lighting and site power. Water is available on every second floor. Yes, this is the correct one. Right, here we have the point where the specific training is required. Specific training requiring activities. So training required for the activities carried out by the irregular contracts include site induction, CSCS, CCR, manual handling required by all operatives. So just the training. And some courses required. I already told you that this site is very like very big, very popular. It's almost 1 billion worth, 750 millions, 1,000 apartments and so on. So 5 tower buildings in Stratford. It's a very big project. So they do require even from people the skilled workers, blue CSCS cards, and I'm told you that it's like a little laborers even on site. Indeed, they do. They have some basic tasks as required. But here, what we must also have as a subcontractor, so we must have, as a supervisor, you must hold at least triple STS, EPAF by operatives, PASMA also, face fit training by operatives, abrasive wheel training. This is required for cutting. Before starting any cutting works, you should definitely go ahead and do the abrasive wheel training. It will teach you, how to do it safely. For example, to cut some ply or some metal with the skills with the circular saw. Okay, working at height training. So safety harness awareness. This is for specific tasks, for just scaffolders, because we're not using safety harnesses. Alright, so level 4, page 4, sorry. This point shows us, I'm gonna zoom in, maybe like this. So this point shows the, shows the construction of the scaffold's tower, but I'm gonna go with just a few points. Locate the tower, ensuring ground is level. Yeah, ground must be leveled when placing the tower. Unlock the interlock clips. Soft the braces. Unlock the brace locks. Base. Ensure the base is level. Lock casters before extending. So basically, the main points are just to when erecting the tower, do it safely, and you know what, actually we're not using this kind of tower. Our tower is similar, you could see it in my videos. We're using it, the tower for one person, because this one tower is you can use 2 people, I believe you can use this tower. But our towers are the different ones. The most important thing is when you place the tower is to lock the wheels, because there are some health and safety guys who are health and safety people who are responsible for this. They are checking everything. So as I mentioned, all must be done safely, responsibly. Actually, no one's gonna look at you at your health and safety. So you need to think with your own head and evaluate every situation and do it safely. It's your main object, main goal. Not to work faster or do something very good, because it's not worth it. You need to. The main point here in UK construction is you need to work, safely. It's number one. All right, we covered the towers. Yeah, so it was the second page. We covered a few pages remaining. I'm gonna check the camera. Yeah, we have some time, very good. Okay, it was 4. Yeah, now we're just gonna have a look at some specific hazards on our site. So we have materials, tools being dropped from height. It can definitely happen. Falls from height on every site. Unauthorized personnel, definitely. Poor housekeeping, slips, trips and falls. If you on my videos, I try to to clean everything. For example, when I was working on some in dry lining, well, it doesn't matter when you work. Actually, you just need to clean after yourself, because not for yes, and also for some for some tidiness, for good housekeeping, but you need to clean it because you can slip, and fall. So it's very kind of dangerous for your health, So okay, I'm gonna read another one. Hand injuries, cut, abrasions, and crushing. This can definitely happen even from impact, from the screw. You can put the screw in your finger. You can very fastly injure yourself. Alright, what specific hazards? We have also damage, plant and equipment, using hand tools, abrasions, strains. Alright, so I'm just gonna zoom it here for you. Alright, so here we have loads. This is this method, this statement actually shows us how, for example, materials, some plasterboard or some metals, they arrive on site. So this points they cover how they are just being handled. So, for example, boards arrived wrapped on pallets offloaded, just the same as the metal, to the loading bay. Then boards are being distributed to designated storage area using trolleys and handling, the same as with the metal. So large plasterboard, same as metal. Well, usually these kind of tasks involve two people. They're just moving the plasterboard or the metal, like two people, because one is usually not doing this one. And then when you need it, just using the hoist is on our site is very easy. You can even move one pallet, so 2-3 people. Well, pallets is 36 boards, so usually 3 people can take the one pallet and move it to the hoist, and then just distribute to some hoist flat to the rooms. And this is very the faster, and it's less risk, and we don't actually need to use a lot of the trolleys, because all of the materials are in hoist flats. Alright, this is the second point, is delivery and distribution of materials using the COVID. So all this virus situation going through now, we got it covered here. So basically we just need to hold wherever it's possible, just the 2 meters apart rule. 2 meters social distancing to be maintained at all times in access routes. Follow all site procedures regarding hoist, lift use, and entering and exiting the site. All deliveries will be booked in advance in accordance with the site delivery procedures. We go to the next point. I forgot to mention about the oh, sorry, the phone fell down. I'm gonna place it just here. We must follow these COVID procedures on site, yeah, sorry about that. So masks, we must wear the masks in the canteen, in the hoist. There is some green route, but I believe, we do require to wear masks there. So this is like mandatory for people. Not all of the people obey to this rule, but still. Alright, let me check the phone. Is it recording? Yeah, all good. So alright, we'll continue on the just this point. It's a delivery distribution of the material. I'm just gonna roll like this. I'm gonna read you a few points. So when the materials arrive, the delivery driver will contact the site manager on arrival to site and arrive at the agreed designated gate for security inspection. So whilst on site, the delivery driver must wear full PPE and follow the instructions communicated by the designated traffic marshal or delivery manager. So the driver arrives, he then contacts the site manager on arrival, he goes to the security gate inspection, all PPE must be worn. Then in a designated area, materials are to be offloaded with the logistics team. So all materials to be checked for visual damage before unloading. This is very good. Also, pallets of materials are to be transported from the unloading area to an agreed storage location, pallet truck. Yeah, this one is actually an important one. Wherever it's possible, manual handling manual carrying of materials is to be avoided. This is a very good point, and in all this UK construction, it's a very good system actually. Not like in, I don't know how it's in other world, but in my country definitely not doing like this. And in UK it's very good because everywhere people trying to avoid the manual handling. We have here forklifts, pallet trucks, everything, all of this machinery just to help and to avoid for some physical carrying, for a lot of these heavy materials carrying, all. And most of the times it's possible, and machinery is doing all of the unloading and delivering the materials, some even electric pallet trucks are in use just to avoid the manual handling of the very heavy load. For any manual lifting, two operatives to lift larger heavy materials. Yeah, this is where it's not possible to use the machinery. Usually the two people are carrying the heavy materials. Ensure route has been pre-accessed and no obstacles. Yes, this is also correct. All materials are to be stored in an agreed location, to be clear of all access, and agreed routes on site. Boards will be stacked flat inside apartments on either pallets or skids. Yeah, so when the guys are carrying the boards, they do place the pallets and the boards there, or one pallet, and just they place one pallet, if it's possible, in a hoist flat, as I told you, for example. Deliveries, the other kind of deliveries also. The delivery drivers are to be briefed prior to location on site. And ensure that they are aware of site logistics, safe systems of work, of any relevant lifting plans or RAMs, that they have correct equipment, PPE. So it is also the same point. Basically, we need to ensure that everything is safe, and to conclude, just everything. This all done is to be safely, to ensure people are safe, to exclude the manual handling. This is very, very, very high intelligent statements, and risk assessment of all of the things that can happen on site. So we're just gonna have a look at I believe the last one. We have some time though. Yeah, time is good. So hazardous substances, we're just gonna have a look at a few of them. So COSH assessments provides for knauf in a cementing mastic. We don't use this one. Dust for plasterboard, as you can see, it is a hazardous, and I don't know if someone tells you another one, but it's a very hazardous substance, and dust from plasterboard can be very dangerous. So it's even it provided in our risk assessment and meta statement, and it shows us in a document that it's very hazardous. So that's why I'm using all the time the masks, because the respirator, even because it just can fly to the air. It's all over the place, and you just inhale it. So better to use mask. Right, what we have for the hazardous substances, we have a compound fill and finish, with some joint. British gypsum were using joint fillers, so this is also the hazardous substance. Metal spray paint. Alright, this risk assessment for some signs, but we are not actually using these. Some toxic materials, corrosive, explosive, just for the for the people to know, to be aware of. Just the simple point, we all know that we need to, all personnel required some protective equipment. What we have: safety boots, hard hats, safety gloves, eye protection, respiratory protection, at least WFP3 and face fit tested. Required high vis and the ear protection wherever it's possible. For example, for drilling or cutting the ply, So this is this all is required by law, by health and safety. So I'm gonna go through the specific PPE for some specific tasks. And we will have one more page remaining. Alright, so I'm just gonna read it. All employees will wear PPE as laid down on an inside induction and as per task specific risk assessments. Noise protection in the form of ear defenders will be required where using noise generating equipment. As I told you, some grinders, saws. These are to be provided by site management. We do have them on site, and I believe I didn't use the ear defenders on video, but when I do need, I'm just placing them. It's mandatory for some grinding, for some cutting the ply, because it can be very loud for your ears, and you just need to save yourself to save your ears. Alright, what we have here, dust mask to WFP3 to be used when drilling into concrete. I'm gonna read it like this: into concrete, sanding plasterboard, that's what our guy is doing, and installing insulation. So these are the this is basically all our job, what consists of all our dry lining. That's why the dust is all over the place, because there are people always sanding, always drilling, some putting insulation, and so on and so on. No operatives wearing dust masks have to be face fit tested and clean shaven. It's also like mandatory, but not all people are using these procedures. Alright, cut-free resistant gloves to be worn at all times. This is provided by management all the time. Impact resistant goggles to be worn at all times. It's also for grinding, basically for just cutting, for cutting the ply, and drilling. You need to use it also. Right, the last page, we're gonna go through it. So one of the last points is just I want to speak in this video. We've already gone far away, more than we needed, but just some extra. Let's cover one of the extras for this is a meta statement for for emergency procedures. This is a very important point. I'm gonna just let me zoom in. Yeah, so emergency procedures. In the event of an accident, incident or emergency, the site supervisor will notify the aerial manager and will follow to the site specific emergency plan. Westfield is the main contractor, will coordinate the emergency situations. Our Ergal personnel, Ergal is our company. Personnel will comply with all directions and instructions given during an emergency. The health and safety manager, first aider, site supervisor will assemble at the site of the incident and will provide first aid and access to the injured person. Moving an injured person should be avoided at all costs. If there is no danger, the injured person should be left as it is until the ambulance arrives. A trained first aider will administer first aid. The section supervisor will coordinate crowd control. So it covers in deep, all of the emergency procedures for some kind of very bad accident here, because this is for the serious ones. If any operatives are taken to hospital, the aerial manager will contact the next of kin. The site supervisor will go to hospital and keep management informed. And the main point, not the main, the conclusion, like the health and safety manager then will coordinate the investigation. You know, the health and safety manager is like very uh, high responsible person, you know, and they will basically, they're like the police of the construction. They will initiate the, you know, the investigation just to know what happened, how it happened, you know, who's responsible, you know, just to prevent them from happening, and, you know, to deeply investigate all of it. All right, so we have the last one, emergency plan for mute rescue, but it's I'm just gonna zoom in to you. Should men working on a BIP require emergency help and are unable to operate the controls fault, the machine will be lowered using the ground controls. Well, mobile, we're not using this kind of system, so I just showed it to you, you know, but we'll not go deeper into that. Okay, so we covered basically mostly all of the documents on risk assessment and meta statement. So we showed you all of our I showed you our official documents, and so hopefully everything is good. We just described all of these special documents, all the all risk assessment method, risk assessment and meta statement, you know. So we have one more remaining. We will do it later. So thank you. Yeah.